Hello guys. Okay, so we are into March, which is going to be our spa month. Now, in here you're going to be learning how to do a facial with the steamer, and we're also going to have a video on simply with massage techniques as well. In the facial, you will also see the massage techniques. In your Schoology, you will also find paperwork that's going to be in there. So it's going to give you the procedure, which you can see right there. So you'll have the procedure on there, and listed above the procedure is going to be all the supplies you're going to need. Supplies you're going to need is going to be like gauze. So you're going to need 4x4s and 2x2s. You're also going to need a silver metallic clean bowl, 4 facial towels. If you're doing extractions, you would do extractions, of course, and you'd have your tools for extraction. Then you'd also need an array of product that you're going to be using, which I know you cannot see over here. Maybe I can bring this over a little bit where you can see it, but you're going to need a table over here. I'll see if I can just kind of bring this over so that you can see it there. And if you notice on this table, I have all the product here, and the way I like to set up my massage or facial is I like to set it up with everything in line. So my product I'm going to use first is my cleanser. So I have my cleansers set up and ready to go. Then I want to have next my mask, and then my massage, and then my hydration mask. And then you also have toner over here as well. So I'm going to put this table here so you can always see that. And then what I'm going to do is see if I can switch my video over just a tad bit, so that you can see that table there. So you can see everything is just pre-set up and ready to go. So that's what's really important. I think that's a little better. Okay, so you want to be at a comfortable level. That's going to be right above the client. And I'm just going to lay these papers over here. And also on there in your Schoology, you're also going to have 17 massage techniques that you'll need to know, and you'll need to know these for your test. And there's the motions on them. So you're going to have Topotenet, you're going to have effleurage, friction. These are all going to be part of what you need to know for your test, okay? So that's very, very important. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing that I really want you to do when you're doing your video is I really want you to have music going, very soft music. Now, you're going to have a lot of light because I need to see what you're doing. But typically in a facial room, it's very dark. You have a little light going, and then you're also going to have music going, soft music. The point of a facial is not only to cleanse their skin, but also to cleanse their mind, to free them from stress, and to make as little conversation as possible. When I do a facial, I tell my client from the start, I'm not going to talk to you. If you want to ask me a question, I will answer it, but I will not carry a conversation with you. Now, some clients will force you to carry a conversation, but the whole point in this is so that they can have stress-free environment, they can relax, and they can also get their skin cleansed and hopefully get set up on a treatment plan afterwards, so that they are returning clients, and you can also help them into a better product line that's going to be better for their skin. A good product line, a little goes a long way. Okay, yes, it's more expensive, but a little goes a long way. Now, along with your product that you're going to need, you're also going to need brushes. I did tell you the silver bowl with gauze and warm water. Probably as hot as water as you can take it, because by the time you get to the client, it's going to be cool. It's going to cool off. I also like to have essential oils for them to relax. And then you can also have an extractor set. Okay? So these are the things that you're going to need in order to carry a facial out. Your facial towel, I like to use the microfiber towels. They're very light and easy on the skin, and they hold the heat in very well. You will also need a towel warmer if you are going to do facials. Now, today I won't have a towel warmer. We're going to be pretending the towels are warm, and I'm not going to have 4 towels. I'm just going to be using the same towel over again. I'm also not going to be applying product to my mannequin's head. we're going to act like we're applying product to the head, which is the same thing that you can do. Now, if you want to give a facial to a family member at home, then yes, you can do the product and I will help you find what products will be good for you to give a facial on so they can have that same experience that you want to have as well. But of course, you will not have the facial machine and the steamer, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. And so what I've done is I have wet one of my gauzes, and then what I want to do is I'm just going to gently wipe the face, okay? I like to try to go around the eyes. And just kind of wipe the face off, okay? So what I did right here was I wet this face, okay, so that it's moist. I've removed any debris from the start. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a gentle cleanser. So I'm going to say that I've had the cleanser already placed into my sample cup. It's ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I've wet my hands with the same clean water. I'm going to pour the cleanser into my hands. Then I'm going to take this cup and get it out of my way because I've already used it. And I know that the next cup next is the next thing there. When I'm doing my cleansing, I like to do an effleurage movement. This is part of your massage technique. And then I come up around the temples. And then I come up, I got a piece of plastic on my head, on the forehead. And then I kind of just come around the eyes and get that nose right in there. And then on the nose crease, I kind of like to really get a little circle motion going there and come up the nose. And then come around there and do an effleurage again. And notice that my tips of my fingers are actually touching right under their chin, or above their chin, excuse me. And then you can kind of just go loop around like this right here. And this is going to be one of your massage techniques. Now, when I'm doing this motion and this cleansing, I'm typically using these two fingers. The first finger, no. Second two fingers, yes. And those are where I'm doing most of my pressure with my massage, and I am applying pressure on there. Once I have cleansed their face, then I want to take my wet gauze. And I'm just going to go ahead and cleanse that soap off. Now, you're not going to remove all of the soap, but you want to get as much as possible. Then what we're going to use is we're going to use more of an exfoliate cleanser or a glycolic cleanser. If you're using a glycolic cleanser, be sure to ask if it's a male client, did you shave? If it's a female client, did you shave? Some women do shave because if they have shaved before you put a glycolic, it's going to light them up. It will burn so much. Believe me, trust me, done it, been there. So glycolic cleansers are a very deep cleanser from removing debris from the pores, and it really, really gets a base clean. If not, you can use an exfoliant. An exfoliant will also help remove extra debris and dead skin from the skin, leaving it fresh and new again, and hopefully to clean those pores out. So again, after I've cleansed it with a gentle cleanser, I'm going to cleanse it with my exfoliant or my glycolic cleanser. I'm going to remove that cup out of there so I know I don't need that anymore. And guess what? We're going to do the same motions. Same motions. So we'll start off with an effleurage. Then we're going to use a little bit of friction, which is like circles. Come around the eyes. Make sure I get into that nose area. Come back above and below the lips, above the chin. Cleanse that really good. Now, once I do this, what I like to do is I like to take my towel, and I have taken a towel out of a hot warmer, and then I'm going to kind of fold that over the top a little bit and drape it down. I like to put it right under that nose. So I like to put it right under that nose, and then I'm just going to fold it over. Now, they're a lot easier to fold when they're wet. Leaving that nose exposed so they can breathe, and I kind of just pat it a little bit. Don't push it down because it's hot, so that can burn them, but you want to just pat it a little bit. Then what I like to do while they're resting and relaxing, this is where I've already turned my steamer on. I'm getting the steamer ready. It's going. If I need to do any more mixing with, if I'm going to be putting two different enzymes together or cleansers together, I can mix them. And then I take a little bit of an essential oil. I'll put a drop. One drop is all you need, at the most two. One drop of essential oil in there, rub my hands together, and I like to cuff it loosely so they can still breathe, and ask them to take in 3 deep breaths. So if you will take in 3 really slow and deep breaths. And depending on what they're using, you can really get into essential oils. Like this is a lavender, so it's going to really relax them, and you're going to be talking quiet to them. If they are having trouble with their sinuses and allergies, you can mix a little peppermint up with eucalyptus or peppermint with rosemary. Those will really help open those sinuses up so they can breathe better. So really study up on some of your essential oils because you can really do some good things with them, okay? So once I've done this, then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take this towel and I'm going to kind of remove all the rest of that cleanser that's on their skin. Really get into those creases. And then I'm going to put that towel out of my way. And now we're up to what we call a mask. The mask is going to help to chemically exfoliate the skin. So it's not strong, it is heavily acidic, and so what that acid is going to do is hopefully to help remove any leftover dead skin and help open up those pores. It can be applied with your fan brush, and you're going to just take a little bit of product. You want a thin layer of product. When you see all these people getting facials and they have this thick mud pack on their face, no, that's not correct. It's a thin layer of product. So you're just going to start here and just rub a thin layer of product over their skin. Using that brush when it's wet, you can help manipulate it so help manipulate that brush very well so that you don't get it into their eyes and you don't get it into their hair. You want to stay away from the eye with most product, with all product really, but with most product, you get it in their eyes, it's really going to burn. In fact, a lot of times when I leave, because you'll leave this product on their skin for roughly about 10 minutes so that it can work, and then just a little bit of dab on the nose. If I have leftover product, I just continue applying it until I use it all because it's just going to have to be thrown away anyways. But you want to really get that over there, manipulate that brush with it, and get it very even over the skin. Now once you've applied the product, typically at this point what we would do is we would take our facial machine and we would pull it over. Let's get it over here. There we go. And I would put this where this steamer is going to blow directly onto them. So we would steam their face while this product is on there for about 10 minutes. That steam is going to really help open their pores. Okay, and that's how we use our steamer. Now the product is sitting on their face. I'm letting them rest for 10 minutes while this is going. Once the 10 minutes is up, I'm going to quietly walk back into the room. I'm going to take my towel again and kind of fold the top so it looks sort of like this right here. And I just kind of gently put it down on that face, and again I fold it over and fold it over. So again, if you're not seeing that fold, I'm taking it from here, I'm bringing it up and then over, up and over. So you can leave that exposed right there with this. Once I've let that set for just a minute to warm up that mask that's on there, make sure that mask has plenty of moisture so when we remove it to the skin, we can remove all the mask and any debris with it. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that, any leftover debris. Now, in fact, whenever I leave for the 10 minutes, because a lot of times when I put the mask on, I leave the room for those 10 minutes to let them relax, I always leave a wet towel beside their shoulder. And I tell them this, just in case they forgot and they go up and they need to take their hand and they wipe their face and get something in their eye, they have something they can wipe it off with right quickly. So I always leave a towel right beside them on their shoulder. And I tell them that too. Okay, so we have removed all of that there. At this point in time, what we would do is we would do extraction. Extraction is where we're going to take your light, and then you would lift up to with the magnifying glass, and you would give you would assess their skin. You're looking for shininess, you're looking for large pores or closed tight pores. Large pores indicates they have oilier skin. You're looking for blackheads, or you're looking for acne or ingrown hairs. Okay, then you have a device here that you can use. There are many different devices you can use with extraction. And with the extraction, the main thing you want to do is make sure that you're pulling that skin taut, and you're mashing right at the edge and kind of pulling a little bit to make sure you can go up under that pore and push whatever's in the pore out. Now you don't want to do this too hard, it can hurt, and when you're raking this down the skin, it feels like you're cutting them. And you need to let them know that is not cutting you. As I know it feels uncomfortable, but whenever you pull this instrument down their skin, it feels like they're cutting you. So you have to be careful about that because it can get quite uncomfortable when you're doing extraction. Extraction should take no longer than 5-10 minutes at the most. Okay, because your whole facial should be no more than an hour. Now when you're doing the video, your facial should probably be about 20 minutes or so because you're not doing extraction. You're not doing 10-minute mask. So that's going to cut off roughly about 30 minutes right there off of your, and you can do a facial within 45 minutes to an hour depending on how much extraction is necessary. Okay? So once we have completed our extraction, then we're going to move into our massage. I have my massage cream ready. So I'm going to place the massage cream in my hands. I'm going to rub it around really good. A lot of the times too, I'll kind of gently just kind of pat their face to let them know I'm going to start the massage. And also what I've done here is now I've just applied some of that cream all over their face so that it doesn't dry out. The first one we're going to start off with is effleurage. There's 17 techniques and I want you to know them all. Do you have to use all 17 on a client? No. I typically do because it roughly takes me about 10 minutes to do the massage, and that's how much time you should do a massage on. So I'm doing a gentle effleurage sweeping movement of the skin. You're not applying hard pressure. You are applying some pressure and you're moving those hands gently up across the skin in a sweeping motion, okay? Once you go to effleurage, we're going to do number 2, which number 2 is 1, up to the cheek, up to the temple, and back down to the chin. So we're starting off at the chin, up to the cheek, up to the temple, and back down to the chin. So this is 1, 2, and 3. This is number 2. I do this about 3 to 5 times and I move to the next one, okay? So this is number 2. Number 3 is going to be a friction moment and we're going to be doing circles. That's all it is circles. And I'm doing circles all the way down, and it's friction because it's friction across the skin, these circles. What I like to do is I like to try to move into my next massage technique. So I want to do circles. I'm going to go up to the temple and to the forehead, and we're going to start to number 4. And 4 is another effleurage movement, and you're just bringing your fingertips from the brow to the forehead hairline. That's all I'm doing, is doing straight motions from the brow to the forehead hairline, and this is number 4. Number 5 is going to be friction again, and we're just going to do circles again. All over the forehead, going back out to the temple with good pressure. You do want pressure on here, and back to the forehead again. And I'm using these 2 palms of my fingertips, the second and the third finger. So this is number 5. Number 6, I like to say 6 pickup sticks, because you're going to be basically doing X's across the forehead. You're going to be basically doing X's across the forehead. Is number 6. Okay, number 7 is going to go into another friction movement, but what we're going to be doing is taking our whole palm of the hands with those 2 fingers and bringing it across. And again, I like to move into the next movement with this, with that. You don't want to ever have both hands off the skin. So you'd like to move into the next movement of the massage. And once I go in from this movement, number 7, I'm going into number 8. And what we're going to do is just kind of gently go down and around the eyes. Down and around the eyes. And number 9, we're going to move into, and number 9 is the same thing that you've already done. It's from number 2. So number 9, we're going to gently go down to the chin, up to the cheek, up to the temple, back down to the chin. It's 1, 2, 3. It's our 1, 2, 3 movement. 1, 2, and 3. Chin, cheek, temple. And then we're going to move into number 10. Number 10 is around the world, okay? So number 10, we're gonna go from the chin all the way around the eyes and back down to the chin. From the chin all the way around the eyes and back down the chin. Okay, and then number 11. Number 11 is where you're going to come below the chin. I call this angel. Above the chin and above the lips, and then back down. Just 3 steps. Below the chin, above the chin, and then above the lips. And number 12 is going to be almost the same thing, but you're going to drop below the chin. So I call it angel lost its wings. Okay, so now we're just going above the lips and below the lips, above the lips and below the lips. This is number 12. Number 13 is going to be a pinching. And this pinching, I call it unlucky 13 because nobody likes to be pinched, right? And 13 is that bad number, bad omen number. So all you're going to be doing is pinching. Now you're not really pinching the skin, but you are drawing up the skin between the 2 fingers and you're pulling that skin up, okay? So it is a pinching motion, but you're really kind of a pulling the skin up so that it feels good to them. That's number 13. It's a pinching motion. Now number 14 is going to be tapotinant, and it's going to be a percussion motion. So you're going to be basically kind of doing a tapping and moving around up and down the facial. And there are different ways to do this massage technique, but I'm just showing you a very simple way to do this. And there's some very effective ways to do this, depending on what the needs are of the client. Then once we do this, we want to kind of do that friction again, and we want to do those circles. So just remember that number 3, number 5, and number 15 are circles. So if you ever get lost, you know you can jump back in at 3, 5, and 15. And you also know that number 2 and number 9 are the same too, because it's that 1, 2, 3 moment. So you can always jump back in there. After this, we're going to end with effleurage. You always begin and end with effleurage. And then number 17 is going to be a neck massage. Now there's many different ways of doing this, but the one thing about the neck muscles is they do get stressed out, especially if you carry purses or carrying bags and stuff like this, so you're going to feel knots in them. You can't just push as hard as you want to and try to release those knots. You have to do slow movements. You can do some nice friction movements on the head or effleurage movements on the neck. Please don't massage both sides with pressure at the same time. This is where the carotid is. If you are massaging and applying pressure on both sides of the carotid, you will make your client pass out, okay? Because this is going to cut off the oxygen supply to the brain. So you want to make sure you're just using one side at a time, not much pressure. You're not trying to close off the carotid. You can also use your knuckles in a very gentle movement down the back of the neck. We're not massaging over the carotid. We're doing on the back muscles of the neck. And then you can also hold the head and pull this head, push the head this way so it lays in your hand, and you can come down the shoulders, and then when you get done with that one, come back up. This should take about a minute, and turn the head this way, and again down the shoulders, all the way down the shoulders, okay? And then come back up and go below that neckline and really bring it up tight, 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 all the way to the nape of the neck, and pull, and then gently release. Okay, once you've done this, again, we're going to apply our towel that was wet from the warmer. This is our 3rd towel. And what I like to do is do this so it moistens and gently removes some of that massage cream. The massage cream that you're using should be a cream that's for the face and for massage, and so that it's gentle for the face. Massage all and just kind of gently just kind of remove that cream from the face so you don't have any excess cream on there. And then we're going to apply another mask. This mask is a hydration mask, okay? So this will be our next hydration mask. This particular mask is going to be applied again with a brush. So we're going to apply this all over our skin. Very nice sweeping movements. Once you've applied the mask, you're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes so that can really hydrate the skin. Once the skin is hydrated, you're going to come back in here. Again, we're going to take a towel. This is our last towel from our warmer. I'm going to apply it at the skin, come up, and let them rest. Make sure you have breathing there. Let them rest and relax for a few minutes. After they've relaxed for a few minutes, and you've let that moisten up that mask, you're going to remove the mask with your warm towel. Never use the word hot. You're never going to get a hot towel from the towel warmer. It shouldn't heat up that way, but if you use the word hot is a negative word, and hot can scare the client. Just say, always use warm, the word warm. That way it doesn't scare the client. Once you've applied this, then we're going to come in there with a moisturizer, and we're going to put some moisturizer on our hands. And I like to use the same motion, same massage techniques that I use. Sometimes I'll come in once I put the moisturizer and just kind of pat their face so I can distribute it, and then come back and do a little bit of effleurage, a little bit of the circle motion, which is a friction, going all the way up and come around their eyes. And there you go. And then you have completed your facial, and you ask them, how was your facial? Did you relax? Do you have any questions for me? If they don't, then we're going to move on. Okay, so this was 654, which is facial with a steamer. You will not have a steamer, of course, to use at home, but you will have all the other product that you can come up with, okay? So if you do need anything, please let me, if you have any questions about this, let me know. The sheets that I showed you will be online, and then you should have all the product that you have to complete a facial. You can do your facial on your mannequin, you can do your facial on an actual person if you have the product and it's a family member, okay? But be safe. Also note that if you're doing a family member and you're all within the same bubble, you do not have to wear a mask. But be very careful about doing facials on people that you're not around all the time. You would always need to wear a mask or face shield to protect yourself from anything of like the flu or COVID or something like this, okay? So just remember, safety is very important. Okay guys, this is 654. This is your facial, your next practical.